Students, now we are going to discuss graphical representation of data. For that, three things we are going to study. One is bar graph, second histogram of uniform width and of varying width, frequency polygons. So bar graph already is studied. Now we are going to study histogram and frequency polygon. So for bar graph, we need to introduce x-axis and y-axis, and we needed to introduce that x-axis data and y-axis data. For that, example 5, for class 9, 40 students were asked about the month of their birth, and the following graphs were prepared for the data so obtained. So here a table is given. Graph is given. For that, in x-axis month of birth, in y-axis number of students. So just write January how many students, February how many students, using the given graph, right? So for that, observe the bar graph and answer the following. How many students were born in the month of November? So November, it's in x-axis, number of students it's in y-axis. So in November, so 4 students. Similarly, in which month were the maximum number of students born? So at August, we have 6 students born on August. So that is the solution. Note that the variable here in the month of birth and the value of the variable is the number of students born. For that, 4 students were born in the month of November. The maximum number of students were born in the month of August. This is the answer for this question. Now come to second example 6. A family with a monthly income of rupees 20,000 had planned for the following expenditure per month under various heads. So here table is given. From this table we need to draw the bar graph. So for that, in x-axis heads, in y-axis expenditure in 1000 rupees. For that we need to introduce. So just you prepare the graph against in x-axis heads, grocery, rent, education of children, medicine, fuel, entertainment, and miscellaneous. These things we need to list out in the x-axis. But in y-axis expenditure, in thousands rupees. So we are going to draw the graph for that represent the expenditures in the y-axis. Here the maximum number is 5. So next 5 up to 6 or up to 7 you needed to write in y-axis. So for 1 centimeter y-axis given 1000 rupees. So 1 unit equal to 1000 rupees. This thing you need to mention. And in x-axis you can mention the heads. So just it's given the solution. So Gregory it's 4, and rent it's 5, education is 5, medicine is 2, fuel 2, entertainment 1, miscellaneous 1. This thing is given. Using this you need to draw this graph. Okay. Now we are going to study about the same thing in the grouped frequency table. In this previous problem we studied ungrouped data. Now we need to study grouped frequency table. For that, histogram. Now just table is given, weights in kilogram, number of students. This thing is given in this table. So for that 30.5 to 35.5. Next 35.5. So it's in continuous type. What is meant by continuous type? In your class interval lower limit 30.5, upper limit 35.5. In the next interval, lower limit 35.5, upper limit 40.5. So there is no gap between the upper limit of first interval and lower limit of the second interval. So 35.5, 35.5. Similarly 40.5, 40.5. So it's in continuous type. So from this we are going to draw histogram. What is the difference between a bar graph and a histogram is there is a no gap between two data in your x-axis. That's all. There is no gap. It's in continuous form. Right. Next, 30.5. So here in x-axis 30.5 to 35.5. So next we may start from 30.5. In the first line you need to write in the 30.5, second line 35.5, next 40.5, 45.5 up to here maximum number 60.5. So you need to write up to 60.5. So for that starting number 35.5, so it's not 0. So that in x-axis you need to introduce histogram symbol. In the graph it's given. So 0, next histogram symbol, next 30.5, next 35.5, 40.5, 45.5 up to you need to mark in your x-axis. In your y-axis numbers 9 up to 15. So you may write in each unit, each centimeter is 2 units, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 like that. So for that in first value 30.5 to 35.5 is 9. So write up to 9, a bar graph like that. Next without gap, that is 35.5 to 40.5. You need to draw a rectangle up to 6. Then 40.5 to 45.5 length 15. So up to 15 you need to draw a rectangle. And next to 3, so it should be 2 to 4. So draw a rectangle. Next to 1 rectangle. Next to 2 another rectangle. So it's nothing but look like a bar graph but without gap. So in a histogram, what things we need to understand? One, the starting number 30.5, it's not 0. If it's 0, you may start with your axis, x-axis and y-axis, center point 0, meeting point. So from that you can start. If it's not 0, other than 0 number is given, that is maybe 10 from 10 to 20, 20 to 30 like that, or here 30.5 to 30.5. So other than 0, first interval starting number is other than 0 means you need to introduce histogram symbol. After that from the second line onwards you can draw the bar graph without gap. So this thing it's called a histogram. Right. So observe the things. Consecutive rectangles, the resultant graph appears like a solid figure. So that's why this is called a histogram. Now we are going to study the next one. Things is given. A teacher wanted to analyze the performance of two sections of students in the mathematics test of 100 marks. For that, here just listen, 0 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40 up to 70 and above. So from 0 to 27 students, 20 to 30, 10 students like that given. Now usually 0 no, so there is no meaning of histogram symbol. Start from 0 to 20, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 like that. You are going to divide your x-axis, each unit, each centimeter equal to 10, and in y-axis number of students up to maximum 20. So you may split your centimeter, 1 centimeter is 2 units, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 like that. Now from 0 to 20 length 7 no, so draw one rectangle. From 20 to 30 one rectangle, to 30 to 40 one rectangle, 40 to 50 one rectangle, like that. 70 and above, so total mark 100 no, so 70 to 100, 70 to 100, 70, 80, 90 up to 100 no, so one rectangle. So what your observation, the first rectangle 0 to 20, remaining 10, 10, 10, 10 with last one 70 to 100, so with 30. So something is given, one is 20, another one is 10, and last one is 30. So it's an irrelevant form, it's not in uniform form. So we need to give a uniform form. For that, here that frequency of 0 to 20 and 70 to 100 is given, huge frequency, greater frequency. So you are going to form a table first of all in uniform manner. So for that 0 to 20 gap 20 no, so you are going to write from 0 to 10 how many, or 10 to 20 how many, that is you are going to divide this thing as, so frequency 7, width of the class is 20 no, so that is 7 divided by 20 into original length you are going to use as 10. So this step you are going to do. So your maximum that class width is 10, 10, 10, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 42. So you are going to judge, you are going to decide the class width. Here class width is 10. So but 0 to 20 given no, so for that write the frequency given 7, so 7 by 20 into 10, that is 3.5. so now you need to draw 0 to 20 as 3.5, that is length of the rectangle. In previous is 7, but here it's changed as 3.5. This is original frequency, that is it's give exact frequency. Similarly, the 20 to 30 it's no change, because 10, 20 to 30 gap 10, class with 10, and the frequency that is given 10 no, so and width of the class is 10, so 10 by 10 original frequency is 10, so answer 10. Similarly, for 30 to 10 gap is class width is 10, and originally your decision is also 10, so 10 by 10 into frequency is 10, so answer 10. 40 to 50, so frequency is 20, so originally 10, that is class width also 10, your decision also 10, so that is 20 by frequency, 20 divided by 10 into 10, that is 20. 50 to 60, there is 10 no change. 60 to 70, there is no change. Original frequency divided by 10, that is given 10 into 10. Last one, original frequency 8 no, so 8 by here given 30 no, so 30 into 10. So you are divided your given part into 3 parts. First one you are divided your frequency into 2 parts, like that. So in any one of thing is 0 to, that is first one is 0 to 40, like that given. So what we need to write, 7 by 40 into 10, like that. Okay, now using the length of the rectangle you are going to draw you are going to draw the frequency polygon. For that 0 to 20, length of the rectangle 3.5, remaining as usual, and the last one 70 to 100 2.67 approximately also you may draw, but you are going to draw in a graph sheet. So graph sheet you can write from 2 to 4, in between 2 to 4 you have 3, so below 3 2.6, below 3 2.6, that is 2.6 you need to draw from 2 to 3 middle, from 2 to 3 exactly middle, any one of the line, that is in the second line, that is after 2 after 3 or below 4 2 line you may give gap, like that. This is called Crystallogram without any gap, and also it's look like a polygon. Now you are going to study frequency polygon. What is meant by frequency polygon? In the same way, in the previous problem you given 30.5, that is this problem. this problem 30.5 to 35.5. It's a histogram. In this histogram, now you are going to study the frequency polygon. So what is meant by frequency polygon is, this is introduction. Just you have a rectangle. In this rectangle you are going to find the midpoint of the rectangle, that is mentioned no B midpoint from 30.5 to 35.5. You have a middle line, one line, that is midpoint, that is B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Now how to draw A and H? Next, in the class width is here 5, that is 30.5 to 35.5. average middle value is exactly 2.5 of 30.5, that is 33. Average, find the average of 30.5 plus, that is 30.5 comma 35.5, add and divide by 2, that is average. Now 33, no, so previously 5, that is 28. So this is the starting point. Similarly, average of 55 to 60.5, that is 58.5, 57.5. Exactly 2.5 you are going to add 2.5, that is 58. So 58 plus 3 is 63. You need to stop up to 63. So from A to H 63. So just 30.5, previously 2.5, point is 2.5. You needed to subtract from 30.5. How it's 2.5? Your class width is 5, so divide by 2, that is 2.5. Your class width is 10, divide by 2, that is 5. In the starting line you draw no 30.5, previously 5 for your class width. If class width is 5 means 2.5, class width is suppose 20 means 10. Like that you need to start. Now after 60.5, 2.5, that is 60.5 plus 2.5, 63. 63 is your end point. Okay, so this is a frequency polygon. Now you may consider what is your points by using your class limits. So lower limit, how to plot the point BD means average of your class limits, that is upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So this is the point B. Similarly C, D, E, F, G and H you can draw, right? Next, consider marks of 100 students by 51 students of a class in a test given 0 to 10, 10 to 20. Everything is in continuous form, and also there is no change in your class width. So you can start to draw the frequency polygon using your histogram. So for starting point also 0, so you can start with your axis 0, 0, that is 0. In x-axis you can write 1 centimeter equal to 10 units, that is 0 to 10, next to 20, 30, 40 up to 100. In y-axis numbers maximum 10, no, you can start 1, 2, 3 or 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 like that. Now in the 0 to 10 you have 5, draw one rectangle. Next 10 one rectangle, like that draw one bars, that is rectangles. Now just draw the bar graph continuously without any gap. Okay, after that you need to draw the midpoints. How to write the midpoint? Using the class mark, that is class mark equal to upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. Or you can write no 0 to 10, what is your average? 5. Next 15, that is 5, 15, it's in between 0 to 10, one midline, that is point B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. You can try easily, that is you can plot the point B to K. Now how to draw the point A and the point L. So there is no meaning of negative points. Just you need to draw only the positive points. A here note down only positive points. So for that A you are going to mark, but you are starting point in x-axis only. So for that, in that axis your class width is 10. So average is 5. So from minus 10 to 0 you need to plot the point minus 5 comma 0, minus 5 comma 0. So that is previous 0, no, from this 0 previously you need to draw on 0.5. Similarly for 100, next 5. Why 5? We note down already. Your class width is 10. So average 10 means average, that is divide by 2. You are going to divide by 2 as 5. So you are going to add 5 in the last interval and subtract 5 in the first interval. So for that 0 subtract 5, that is minus 5, and for 100 addition, so 105. So in our x-axis for minus 5 you are going to plot a point. In our y-axis you are going to plot in 105, right? So this dotted line from A to L, it's a frequency polygon. Okay, this thing. Now you can draw using histogram your frequency polygon, or without histogram frequency polygon. So now the question is, in a city, weekly observations made in the study on the cost of living index are given in the following table. That is table given. Check your table. Starting point 140, 150, 150, 160. There is no gap, so continuous type. And every class width also 10. So you can start. Now number of weeks also given. Now you are going to draw only the frequency polygon. So for that your class mark you are going to draw, that is the table 14.11. Our class 140 to 150, 150 to 160 up to 200. From 140 to 150 you are going to write the average. So that is next 5 of 140, that is 140 plus 150 divided by 2 is 145. So lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2, that is example given. So 145, after the 10 10 10 addition, that is average of 150 to 160, 160 to 170, 170 to 180, 180 to 190, 190 to 200 is 145, 155, 165, 175, 185, 195. So frequency. Now consider the points, class mark and frequency, that is 145 comma 5, next 155 comma 10, next 165 comma 20, then 175 comma 9, then 185 comma 6, then 195 comma 2. This is your point, like that consider. Similarly in your histogram you can write, you can analyze your starting number is not 0, 140 given. So first introduce the histogram symbol in your x-axis. Here 145, 155 like that given, no? So that's why here points, here note down the point. From 135 it's given 135, 145, 155, 165, 175. Or you can write 140, 150, 160. Anyway you are going to plot the point 145. So 155, 165. So here directly you can use 135, 145, 155 up to 205, because the points you are going to draw, you are starting also x-axis, end point also in your x-axis. So here 135. So why it's 135? In your class mark 145, previous 10 is 135, or here 140 is your starting limit, lower limit. So in your lower limit you need to subtract 5 because class with 10, no, so subtract 5. In your upper limit add 5, that is 200, no, so add 5, so 205. So 135 it's your starting point in our x-axis, 205 is the end point of your x-axis. So for that 135 is point is given as 135 comma 0 in x-axis, y value 0. So 135 comma 0. Next one B, that is 145 comma 5. Next C, 155 comma 10. That is in your table given data, it's not the starting point and the end point. Starting point and the end points are not given in your table. You need to decide by class width. Class width 10, so you needed to subtract 5 in your first lower limit and add 5 in your last upper limit. So your starting point A and H is not given in your table. You need to introduce, that is 145 given. So 135 comma 0 is the starting point. Similarly, last point here 195 given, so 205 comma 10. So just understand two things. One is from the given classes how to plot the starting point, and from your class mark how to plot the starting point. Things are different. Using class mark, you need to subtract the class with your class mark. So 145 minus 10, 135 is the starting point. But in our classes starts from 140 to 150. So class mark is midpoint of 140 to 150. That's why minus 10 from your class mark, first class mark. But here 140 is not a midpoint, starting point. So here you are going to plot your frequency polygon in the midpoint, no? So that's why in the previous, just think about the midpoint of the previous class interval is 130 to 140 is 135. That's why your starting point is 135, or just 140 minus 5 and 200 plus 5. Since the class width is 10, suppose the class width is 20, that is 140 to 160, 160 to 180, like that given, means here 220 divided by 10, that is 10 you need to subtract from 140 starting point, and 10 should be added with your last interval, like that you need to draw. Now just plot the point. After that join the lines, after that join the points, you get the polygon, no? So this one is called frequency polygon. Thank you students. Draw this thing in your graph note. Thank you.